So welcome to another episode of Capital Conversations. It's been a while that we brought you any of the episodes. The last episode that we did, I think, was about 2 months ago. But it's been a good preparation towards the next one because we've been putting the studios together and, propping up a lot of things. We have a whole lot of things that we are bringing to you guys. I keep saying, we are bringing up this podcast as an enhancement to the Forex industry in Ghana and across Africa. We just want to project the industry in our country beyond borders. There are a lot of top traders in this country that are not really known. That is our main mission, to bring all these people on board, to give them the platform to showcase, what is on their mind or the skills and the knowledge that they've acquired in the market over the years for your audience to get to hear. So on today's episode, we have a very important, a very special guest over here. I've been, chasing him for some time now, for a couple of months now. I'm glad that finally, I've been able to get in touch with him. And today, he's in the building. Majority of you know him. So I will introduce to you Mr. Boah, aka Dr. Harmonics in the Forex market. So welcome to the show, bro.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I was very happy when you told me about this project, and I think it will go a long way to also help upcoming traders, will be an inspiration to other traders to also emulate and learn a little from us so that they can also reach the peak that they aspire to reach.
Yeah, thank you once again. Like I said, this is my guest, this is the guest that I have on the show today. And today we are really going to delve into a lot of things, very exciting topics that we have lined up today. So grab your popcorns and stay tuned for the entirety of this show. You will definitely love it. But before we start, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like the video. If you want more content like this, that you can actually consume the value that we'll be putting out there for free. It's entirely free. They're not taking anybody money or mentorship fee to give out this value. So all you have to do for us to reach where we want to reach is for you to subscribe and like the video. Share the video to your family and friends, to people who you want to learn this very important skill, and let's all make history together. I want you to walk me through your journey, as a Forex trader and how it all started.
I completed schooling and did my national service. After 2009, when I was doing my national service, or after I completed my national service, jostling through the challenges in life, I decided to actually find my aim, my goal in life. Coming from, a very straight home, I wanted a way to actually leave the house. I was trained in the barracks and my dad was very, very strict. You play football and they are giving 6K. So you want a way out of the house.
Yes.
And you cannot go out and also become hungry. So when I completed my national service, I was looking for a job and I was also craving for success. So I just got to Google and type how to make quick money. And amazingly, you saw some other forms of investment like HYPES, which is high yield interest payment.
Okay.
You have bonds, so at that time, there were some investments like Oil of Asia, Life Trust Invest. So I think this thing has repeated over the years.
All those schemes.
Yeah, they'll tell you that bring money, 1 week time, you get this. So at a point, I moved my $500 to $5,000 with HYPES, high yield interest payment, and I lost everything. Now I asked myself, so these people, they were claiming that they were using the money to buy oil. Some would be like they are using the money to trade Forex and that stuff. Now I lost all my money throughout the period. I'm investing on HYPES websites. At a point, I even mastered the craft to the point of even creating my own HYPE website. But I didn't launch it actually. Now, fast forward, I wanted to know what they were actually using the money for.
Okay.
So if they talk about Forex, what were they actually using the money for? So I decided to learn a bit about Forex. That was how the journey started.
So that was the back end of 2009?
Yeah, around 2009.
I see.
So that was when I was learning Forex and other stuff. Then along the line, I also had a banking job with Standard Chartered Bank. I was actually a contract staff, direct sales. So I was not any much. At that time, 123 Ghana cedis. You work for a very long time and you earn like 123 Ghana cedis. If you meet your target, you would actually earn second commission. So I needed money. I being the firstborn of my parents, I had to make a statement, like I had to actually get the money. It was part of the process of earning money, and that brought me to study Forex. I started with binary options from the beginning because I wanted to I was the kind of guy who didn't have that large capital at that time because access to capital was very, very difficult. So I wanted a way that I can use small money to make big money, and that was how I got into binary option and later moved to penny stock. So penny stock trading is about pump and dump. So there was one guy, Timothy Sykes, the penny stock trader. I bought his courses back then. At that time, there were no like Forex mentors in Ghana. You have to learn it the hard way. So
because 2009 is a very long time, because I started learning how to trade in 2014.
He stopped trading. We buy assets at very low price, and he will give signal like buy this stock. In the next 1, 2, 3 days, boom, then you make like 1,000%. So it was kind of, I learned how to use small money to actually make big money. And it helped me along the line because at the end of the day, I was not having much money. As the years went by, I became a relationship manager and other stuff where I was at a point of having enough money. But along the line, other stuff happened and we had to resign from work, this banking crisis. You see, I started 2009. I was a master of my craft, but what happened was I didn't know about risk management. I was trading anyhow. Now, you'll be amazed that there are top traders in Ghana or in that are analytically good, but they don't know how to manage their trade and how to manage their risk. Along the line, I even had about $7,000 around 2013, moved it to $70,000 and blew about 90% the following month. It's because I had the skill to trade, but I didn't know how to manage my losses. So there was a time that you don't have to put stop loss and all those kind
We'll come back to those sides, those side of the market where. So now, from what you're telling us, you initially ventured into the market in 2009, and that was basically when the journey started. And from the
I was more into binary options and penny stocks.
Okay, so when did you actually decide that now I'm trading Forex full time?
That was around 2013. I was learning throughout the process, but trading Forex itself was around 2013. The Forex that I learned, I was using it in binary where you buy at a certain price within 1 minute if it goes your way. So analytically I was there, but I was not using that on the Forex market. So it was 2013 thereabout. That was when there was this broker Ethereum. So they were the first broker that actually used in Ghana. We were doing copy trading and other stuff. I made a lot of money from it. So the journey has been good. 2013, I can say that was when I actually started going from binary options, penny stocks to actually
to the Forex market. Well, that's quite an interesting story and an interesting journey. Like you say, during that time, you did a whole lot of things that you found a certain market that you feel like, let me just venture into this market. But when you went into the market, there were a lot of things that you wanted to do. So it took you like 4 years before you really settled that this is what I wanted to do. And that's quite an interesting story, because sometimes we all go through these phases that sometimes it takes some time for you to really settle on something that you feel this is what I really want to do. That was just by the way. So what was the motivation behind you settling on the Forex market that Forex is what I want to trade now? I'm not going to be dealing with all these binary options and all of that again. Now I want to settle and trade the Forex market full time.
Okay, so comparing Forex to other forms of investment at that time, there was a time where there was this guy, Greg Saka. He came to Golden Labadi Beach Hotel to organize a seminar, a very big seminar, and a lot of people went. That was the biggest seminar in Ghana at that time. That was when he was talking about the opportunities in the Forex market and other stuff. Now I compared the risk component to that of penny stock trading and binary options. And I realized that yes, we can make quick money with penny stock and binary options, but when it comes to forex trading, you can have a steady income based on your risk appetite. I learned with penny stock trading, I learned how to move small amount to bigger amount within a particular point in time. So I learned how to be conservative in that process. Now with forex, once you're able to set your risk, you're able to know your risk, your reward, you're able to build a steady income over the period. So I saw forex as a less riskier form of investment compared to other channels such as binary options and penny stock, and that was why I moved to the forex market.
Right. I think that's really great because at every point we all settle on something that we find as our favorite, and like you said, you found the risk reward ratios in the forex market as much better than what you are doing in the binary market and all of that. That's interesting. We go through evolution process, human beings, in everything that we touch. So sometimes we settle on one thing just because we tried so many things previously.
Yeah.
Because you are initially going to have like 3, 4, 5 things that you really focused on. But at the end of the day, it's like you doing back testing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you are back testing a strategy, you just feel like, okay, you're going to try all the available channels in the market for you to be able to know exactly how this pair works and how the strategy actually works. So that is basically an application that you see in our daily life every day, that sometimes you take something and you feel like you need to try this one out, try this one. But at the end of the day, you're going to weigh all of them up together with the data that you have, trying all those things out. Then you definitely settle on one. So that's basically what I think we are talking about. So there are lots of misconceptions in the forex market, in the financial market as a whole. There are people who believe it's a get-rich-quick scheme. There are people who believe it's a scam. There are people who believe when you come into the forex market, the following day you buy a Lambo. There are people who believe, because based on what people see on social media, people, flaunting houses, flaunting cars and all of that. What misconceptions did you have to clear because you got into the market and found out things by yourself? Because I believe that before you entered into the forex market, you might have heard a couple of things about how the forex market works and how the forex market is, even though during that time, it wasn't rampant on social media like today, because that wasn't a social media era, right? But definitely, you might have heard about a few things about forex, or you might have read about a few things about forex before you actually settled on it that, okay, this is the actual market that I really want to trade. When you entered into the market, what misconceptions you find out in the market that, oh, okay, I heard about this before, but when I entered into the market, I found out that this thing is wrong?
So at that time, when I started trading the forex market as a full-time forex trader, no, I'm not talking about binary options or penny stock. The forex market was a boom in South Africa. These guys were flaunting money, cars everywhere they go, and I feel like, okay, if these guys are making it too, I can make it very easy. I was not focused on the money because at that time, even in Ghana, I did not know anybody that was actively trading like big time in Ghana. There were no big traders here in Ghana, so I was not open to people using forex money, buy cars and all those kind of stuff. But I was focused on the learning process, and the learning process taught me how to trade hard. But the reason why I went big into the forex market, I was very lucky that moving $7,000 to $70,000 one month, and I lost about 90% the following month. I realized that so far as I was able to move that money, the risk is very high.
Very high, yes.
But because I was able to do that, I realized that, okay, I've lost it, but I can do it again.
Yes.
Actually, the money I was able to recover almost about 40%. But so far as I was able to do it, I'll do it again. I never gave up. And it was also a way to move out from my family to be independent, because I don't want a situation where my father will be disturbing my life all the time. So I just felt like I should be independent. And even working as a banker, my work schedule helped me to move from binary option and penny stock to forex, because in the process of learning, I realized that, okay, I can be a swing trader. So I can work and at the same time trade. And with that process, it helped me move from misconception was the fact that the South Africans were doing the most. But in Ghana, I wanted to be the first person to do it because I didn't see anybody in Ghana doing that at that time. Yes, we made the money, but we didn't reach that level. So I came through the process and I realized that it's not easy as you think. You have to go through a process, you have to learn, and with that I followed and it paid off up to now. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. From your IG bio, right?
Yeah.
I went through, because before we started this interview, I went through your IG bio. I went to actually, watch a few things concerning you on IG and all of that. And I saw one thing that really caught my attention. So over there, that the most experienced Forex mentor in Ghana. Whatever that's mean, right? We all understand mentorship.
Obviously, I'm not the most experienced. I'm not the most experienced, but
I'm just interested in that. I'm just interested in that because people want to know. Because people are out there watching us right now. Maybe someone might watch this video and just go on Instagram to go check you out and come join your community or something like that.
Yeah.
Just because maybe you are able to express yourself, or you're able to convince people that this is the reason why you need to come under my mentorship, right? So that's why I'm really interested in in finding out that aspect.
Yeah.
And did you have a mentor yourself?
When I was starting, no.
You didn't have a mentor?
No, I didn't have a mentor, but I made certain mistakes in life, the trading process, like the risk management aspect, fundamental aspect. I had to learn from Katilene. Katilene is more into fundamental analysis. So at that time, I learned a lot from her. And I told you about Timothy Sykes, how to flip small accounts. So I was learning from these people. But in terms of the technical aspect of the business, I learned it the hard way. And that's why it took so many years for me to reach that level. But these days, you have mentors around who can make the cycle very easy for you.
Yes. So it all boils down to why I always say that you obviously need a mentor in the market.
Of course.
If you really want to fast track your journey. Yes, you can learn all the YouTube videos that you want. You can just consume all the materials that you can find on the internet.
In fact, you make the money and blow the money.
Yes, you understand. But at the end of the day, it will just prolong your journey.
That's it.
A journey that you are supposed to maybe use 2 years to complete or get through if you have a proper mentor behind you. Without one, it might take you like 4 years or even 5 years. Because you're going to have to learn the hard way, right? You're going to blow account after account and all of that. So that is why I always advocate for mentorship. Whoever you think can actually guide you in this process, trust me, pay the costs, pay for that value, and just go on there and win.
People think when you pay for a mentor will make, let's take Ghana for example, for a month, how much can I make for mentorship? Even, I don't remember the last time I did like a course. I don't even remember the last time. But even if you have like, let's say 20 people in a month and you are even charging, let's say $100 or that's like $2,000 or so. And I don't remember the last time I had 20 people at a group. So mentorship doesn't pay off.
Yes.
I mean, I had like 3 cars before selling them to buy my house. Mentorship money cannot
do that.
Cannot buy all these cars for me and other stuff. So I just feel like I love to teach. Today, I remember for some weeks now, some trades have been hitting my stop losses. Today, I went online and I was teaching live analysis. And I feel like the more I teach, the more I become better. All the trades I gave them today, they are all in profit.
Yes.
So I'm very lazy when it comes to sitting behind the PC analyzing. But when I'm teaching people, I see things that me myself, it surprises me. So me teaching people, and one way or the other, it helps me to become better. And that's why I love teaching people. It's not by man, because at the end, how much can you pay me to buy my house? Or how much can you pay me to buy my car? We are not like, our population is not so huge that you can make a lot of money from mentorship.
Yes.
So, come on, if you want to learn the right way, the best way is to pay for the mentorship so that you shorten your learning curve. And that will help you become, the billionaire that you want to be. You just have to lower your expectation. If you think you can make money in the next month, it's a lie. But with the right guidance and mentorship, trust me, you can be a consistently profitable trader.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good point as well. So coming back to, let's delve into the market for real.
Yeah.
You see, in the market, we all know that we have technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and sentimental analysis. With these three types of analysis that we've all grown to know, that these are the factors or these are the instruments that actually move the market. Which of these three types of analysis do you really rely on in making your trading decisions?
You'll be surprised that there was a time where people think that the hardcore analysts will always say that the fundamental analysis is always embedded on the chart. Fundamental analysts will say that the technical analysis is just like imaginary lines drawn on the chart. The sentimental analysis analysts would actually be sitting back and looking at the argument between the fundamental and the technical analysis and make a decision. For me, I believe that most of them, all of them are very important. And me, in particular, I use almost all the three.
Okay.
Now, before I enter a trade, even this morning when I was live, the first thing I did was to go and check the interest rate. I love analyzing the economy.
Economic data.
Yes, the economic data of country. I'll look at the interest rate. I'll look at the employment data. I'll look at compare the interest rate to the inflation rate. So actually what happens is that for every country there is a projection of their interest rate for the year.
Yes.
So you look at the inflation figure and look at the projection for the year. So the United States, like this, the projection for last year was 2.0. It's now sitting at 3.3. So they expected that inflation target was 2.0. It's now 3.3, even as of last year. So the expectation is that it will get to 2.0.
Yes.
Now they've not gotten there yet. Now inflation figure is still sitting at 9.5. Whilst interest rate figure is sitting at 9.5, whilst inflation is around 3.5. So at the end of the day, the interest rate has to drop to meet up with the inflation figures. So with that data, you should know what is actually going to happen on the market. Now, I then move down to the currencies,
okay,
or the indices. So like the dollar, I'll look at the DXY. I'll analyze the DXY. I'll analyze the CXY, which is the Canadian dollar. I'll analyze the SXY, which is the Switzerland franc. I'll analyze these individual indices. Yeah, the index of all.
The index of all the major currencies.
Then I'll look at the one which is strong, the one which is weak. Now I'll group all the strong ones, the weak ones, and I know that currently the yen is very weak.
Yeah.
The yen is very weak. The pound is strong. Canadian dollar is the Canadian dollar is very, very weak. CHF, which is the Switzerland franc, Confederation Helvetica, which is CHF, is very, very strong. So I know that if CHF is strong and the yen is weak, then that means that I'll look for opportunity to buy the CHF against the yen.
Okay.
You see, so in my mind, I've already psyched myself that, okay, I'm going for this trend. Then I will then come to the technical analysis and use my STR strategy to be able to identify.
We'll come on the STR strategy later.
Yes. So that is, so I'll do all these cross-market, in fact, before even the currencies, sometimes I will do cross-market analysis and know that, okay, we have risk on asset, risk of asset. What are risk on asset? So you look at the stock market, what is happening with the stock market. If the stock market is bullish, investment sentiment is high, and risk on currencies like Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Euro pound will be strong against risk of asset like the dollar. So where uncertainties, there are a lot of uncertainties, then you see that the dollar, the yen, the CHF will be strong. So you look at all these situations, this environment, and make decisions as to which currencies to buy, which currencies not to buy. So with my experience, I'm able to do all these things, and that makes me one of the most experienced traders.
I understand. That's an interesting way of you conducting your analysis based on to make your trading decisions.
Yeah.
Like you said, I also look at indexes very, very well. That I always, before I start making my analysis, I always analyze the index of all the major currencies. The XY people, before I pair the strong with the weak on the chart, right?
Yeah.
So that is, I think we have that one in common anyway. We have that one in common anyway. So me personally, I will basically say I'm more into the technical and the fundamental, but even though the technical is much more, because I so much believe in the charts. I believe that it's even if the fundamentals move the market, it is the technicals that give the market shape, right? So so whatever works for you or whatever makes you make money is what
that is the most important thing. There are people who even use moving average and they make money.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't matter how you make money, but for me, I learned it the hard way. So I have a lot of knowledge here, and that makes me. And you see, a lot of knowledge can also lead to mistakes.
Yes.
So you just have to find. Even with all my knowledge, sometimes I'll go basic low to just using classical chart patterns like head and shoulder. It should be simple enough.
Yes.
So you should have your pattern. What makes you take a position? And trading is about 80% and even 90% analysis. 90% of the time, you should be on your chart analyzing. 10% is trading. So the moment you place a trade, you put your stop loss, take profit, you don't have to move anything. All you have to do is add up position, because I'm a swing trader. So I tend to scale in at any particular point in time. I'll add on new trades till it hits my target. So basically that's it. I believe that mentors should always make trading very, very simple. But sometimes you need a lot of knowledge, so that when you find yourself in situations, you can maneuver your way around.
Yes.
For example, you can place a trade that probably you have head and shoulder pattern. Now, along the line, probably the chart might change. The pattern might change.
Pattern might change, yes.
So you can have, instead of it forming a head and shoulder, it might form a double top. Or it can form a harmonic pattern. So if you have an idea about other forms of theories, then at that point, you might not exit the market. You would look for your, yes. It's about adaptability.
Yes.
So you just have to be flexible with the market, so that you not make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, there are people who just want to focus on one thing. For example, me. There was a time, I think 2016, I had a mentor who was teaching me harmonic patterns, and trust me, I couldn't learn it.
Even the most simplest.
Yes, even though till now, if you put harmonic in front of me, I can't trade harmonics, right? I'm telling you the truth. I can't trade harmonics because, at that time, even though I know that if I'm to learn harmonics now, I could easily learn it. But psychologically,
it's even easier than chart patterns like head and shoulder.
Yes, but psychologically, because of what I convinced myself back then in 2016, that this thing is so difficult, it has made me lose any sort of interest in, even putting something like that down. Like, okay, I'm ready to learn this, or I'm ready to get someone.
And
to
you'll
teach
be surprised that people who trade harmonics earlier are the old.
OGs.
The OGs. Because at that time there was nothing like smart money concept and
ICT.
So you can call us the OGs.
Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. So let's come back to your STR strategy. I'm very much interested in that. So just walk me through what that means and how you came up with that.
So curiosity is curiosity kills the cat. People want to know the meaning of STR strategy. is actually, should I reveal it here? So this is the first time. The full meaning is swing trend rider. So you get the swing and the trend, then you ride it. It's a combination of harmonics, Elliott wave, classical chart patterns, and smart money concept all together. So the idea is that you use harmonic to identify the pattern, the Elliott waves on the legs of the pattern. Then when you are entering the market, you use either smart money or classical chart patterns to enter. And there are Fibonacci ratios to get there. So you have your target at the Fibonacci and to lead you along the line. It's very, very simple.
that sounds like a premium strategy, because you combine all these things together.
So each of the theories has a role to play in the STR. Harmonics is to identify the pattern. On the legs of on the high time frame, you identify the harmonics. Elliott wave is on the legs from the C to the D of the harmonic. It's on the legs of the pattern. Then you use smart money concept or classical chart patterns to enter. So based on that, if it's going on a buy for entry, use the smart money concept or the classical chart patterns to enter.
So how long have you been trading this SCR strategy?
Since I started.
Wow, back then. So I designed my strategy. So I had theories, I had Elliott waves, harmonics, smart money, classical chart patterns, and I wanted to find a way to embed them together as one strategy, very unique on the market, and that is how I found my truth. Okay, that's really good. Yeah, like you said, that is how you found your truth. And this
is one thing that I might even teach people, but at the end of the day, they might not use it because they might get information from all these things and create their own strategy.
Yes. So it's just like the strategy that I use. I've been using my strategy for 6 years now. The same strategy. I just read a book, Pure Price Action, right? I read one book and I used the information from that book to actually come up with that strategy. So like you said, it's always about you finding your truth, right? Because in the market, I always say this, that in the market, everything is right, everything is wrong. You understand? Depending on which side of history you get to on the market, right? So you always have to find the truth by yourself. Because I can teach you this strategy, the same strategy that I've taught you. I might make money with the strategy, but you won't. By the same application, right? So that is why I don't encourage people, asking people that what strategy do you use, what strategy, I've never gone anywhere that I've asked any trader that I've met that teach me the strategy that you have. Because I believe in one thing, that okay, you can be generous enough to teach me your strategy, that is fine, but I might not, use that strategy to the maximum benefit for myself, like you do, because we all have we all have different psychologies, we all have the same emotions, we all respond to different scenarios and circumstances in the market in different ways. So like you saying finding your truth is why I'm saying all these things. So that is why I'm a big advocate of you always finding things out by yourself.
Of course.
Instead of always people wanting people to spoon feed them, give me a strategy, do this and do that. So I think that's the perfect way to actually sum it up. So let me come back to this. So since you started trading in that strategy, what's the biggest money you've made with the STR strategy in the market?
Okay, so around 20, before I started Gold Forex Institute. Gold Forex Institute is actually currently the biggest Forex Institute in Ghana. So I'm not talking about the biggest, but the margin. So I moved $8,000 to $128,000 in 3 weeks.
$8,000 to $128,000 in 3 weeks.
Yes. So that was around 2017. And that's what I used. I used that to get my place at Spinters Road, bought my first 4x4, and since that time, it's been money. You understand? So it's about the margin. At a point, I was managing about $8 million for 8 Lebanese.
Oh wow!
And we're not looking at like 100% margin and all those kind of things. it was about maybe, I think the target was around 10% a year.
Okay.
You understand? So I'm looking at the margin. So from $8,000 to $128,000, that was huge. It was actually crypto, XRP.
Okay.
So I was trading on margin on trade.com.
Okay.
At that time, trade.com was in Africa.
Oh, okay.
So we placed a buy around 0.2 and moved to like $3.
Yeah, $3. I remember at the peak of the bull market in 2017.
Yeah.
Ripple got to like $3.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were trading on margin $8,000. I moved it to $128,000. $5,000. $500. I moved it to $5,000. That's over 1,000% in terms of margin. You understand? So this has been the biggest margin that I've made within the shortest possible time. But in terms of portfolio, I've traded over 8 million. So at a point, I was about to start a brokerage.
Okay.
FS Go Trading Limited. I had one of my students came in as a partner. I had a license in Vanuatu, Mauritius, and that. So
at that time, you had that $8 million portfolio that belonged to
so investors. It was about 8 Lebanese.
Okay.
So I was trading for them. Like at the end of every quarter, we split profit. And it was very good. So at that time, I was not even looking at people's money, and that was why I was not even on social media.
Okay.
2017, I was not on social media. I had one of the biggest Forex Academy with about 8 employees. I fronted people, and I was back then trading while they were doing the courses and other stuff. But I realized that's a business. Sometimes you need the marketing aspect of it. So around
very important.
2020, 2021, there about 2021, that's when I came on social media, Instagram. Even 2022, that was when Jeffrey Benson from Nigeria came to visit me in Ghana here in Abi, and they said I should start a YouTube channel. Like, I'm big in Ghana, but they don't know me. So I've not been a social media person, but we've paid our quota in the industry.
Yeah, you know, we at some point you just feel like you just need to be at one corner making money by yourself. That's basically what I've been for a lot of years, because I just feel like, okay, even though some publicities are good publicities, but it is only people, you know, who feel like it is only through mentorship and selling courses and signals that can give them money that takes this social media thing so serious. I believe when you are playing the market and the market is paying you, I don't think you would even have enough time to be out there all the time.
So this issue here, I feel like so as a business, if you are an independent trader trading from your home, you don't need social media.
Yes.
But if you are a business running an academy with an office staff and everything, you have services that you provide, which are courses, signals, all those kind of things. That you need social media, because without that, how will someone patronize your service? But if you're an independent trader trading on your own, why do you need social media?
I understand totally. Well, I think it's been a really insightful conversation. We'll definitely have a part 2 of this conversation.
But let me give my advice to traders. So when you are starting as a trader, guys, see, when you are starting as a trader, what you need to do, first of all, learn everything.
Okay.
Learn everything that you chance on. Then based on a lot of information, you then find your truth. Based on your personality, based on your emotions and other stuff, you find your truth and pick a strategy that works for you. You need to also lower your expectations and know that you cannot buy your next Lamborghini with $100. To be successful in the industry, you need capital to make capital.
Yes.
So don't dream bigger than your mentor. With that, you can achieve greatness.
That's a good advice in new traders. You know, I always give a lot of these advices that, you know, majority of these new traders are over expecting things from the market, and that is what lead to their ruins majority of the time, because no matter what you've been able to, you know, learn, or no matter what you've been made to believe by social media, there are barriers and boundaries in the market. right?
Yeah.
And you can't overstep and outsmart those barriers and those boundaries. You know, but people fail to understand this little concept that it's a process. We need to go from this step to this step. And you can start from $100, which is very fine. But from starting from $100, it will get to a time that you have 1,000, it will get to a time you have 10,000, before you start dreaming about 50s and 100s and the Lamborghinis. But you know, the problem with majority of these new traders is that he buys a signal, he buys a prop firm, that he'll be using that signal to trade that prop firm. And sometimes I don't know whether they think that the 100,000 they have in the prop firm account belongs to them or something like that. You know, so it's just all about illusions. You know, these guys are chasing a lot of illusions in the market. They are chasing a lot of unrealistic things in the market. And I believe those are the things that keeps them very distracted to learn what they are supposed to learn. So it's a good advice that you've given them. That is basically what this podcast is about. We are here to enlighten you about what you need to know. We are not here to sell you anything. We are not here to sell you any illusions. We are not here to sell you the idea that we can actually let you buy your first Lambo with $100 account. It's not possible, and we know. You know, we have been through the market. He started trading in 2019. You know, he's been in the market like 14
2009.
years. Hey, 2009. He's been in the market for 14 years. I've been in the market for 10 years. That's the 24 years of experience that we are sharing with you for free. We are not taking you any money. So take our word for it. And we are both successful. We are both successful traders. We are not traders that are upcoming and we are trying to give you any sort of advice, right? We are both successful traders. We have done really well for ourselves. We have big portfolios. We have all these things. So if we are telling you that this is the direction that you need to follow, this is the path you need to follow, you have to believe us, because our lives is already a testimony for what we are telling you about. So stay tuned to more episodes of this podcast. We are going to bring you a lot of things that will actually transform your mindset about this whole Forex thing and this whole financial market thing. If you are really out there and your dream is actually to become a successful Forex trader or a successful investor over the next couple of years or at some point in your life, this is the best channel for you to be on. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video to your friends and families and to people that you really want their lives impacted and they will never regret. So we'll bring you a next episode of this conversation at some point. And for now, we can only say thank you for watching. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for sharing this video in advance. And God bless you. Thank you.
Peace out. Be trading.